So here we are in the new version and well the newest version of Red Dead Redemption, and this is on PlayStation 5. Of course this is the PlayStation 4 version of the game, but I'm just playing it through backwards compatibility on PlayStation 5. And in this video we're going to be doing a guide to the settings of the game. Since of course it is a new version, there's a couple things that you might want to tweak, and there are a few new options that you can take a look at. So yeah, literally you just got to hit options, and this does apply not just to PlayStation 5 but to PlayStation 4, and it also pretty much all applies to Nintendo Switch as well. And also, to be honest, it also applies to Xbox. There's a couple new things, a couple things that will be different between different platforms, but generally speaking, no matter what platform you're playing on, even if you're on a PS3 or Xbox 360, to be honest, chances are, I doubt you'd be watching this if that was the case, but even if you are, to be honest, you'll probably still find this fairly beneficial. So yeah, we're just going to be looking at the settings, going through every option and just guiding you through them, and I'll be telling you what's best and what you should take note of. So first of all, of course, you've got your map. So this map, obviously, is smaller than it is in Red Dead Redemption 2, but you're basically getting all of New Austin, and of course you're getting some of Mexico as well. So you're actually getting some newer stuff, some stuff you don't get in Red Dead Redemption 2. And then, of course, you are getting some stuff from Red Dead Redemption 2 over here. So, obviously, Tall Trees, Great Plains, you've got Blackwater over there, McFarlane's Ranch, everything like this you'd be used to if you played Red Dead 2. And everything down here is going to be new to you if you've never played Red Dead 1 before, since, well, you can't, you're not supposed to go there in Red Dead 2, but I'm sure there'll be some people watching this video that have gone there either way. So, yeah, this is the map. Of course, you can filter through things. You can look at the legend just to see what's there. There's not much, since in this save and right at the beginning of the game. You can see where you are. These are your mission icons here. And then, of course, you got your places like this. I believe that, yeah, a night watch job. So, yeah, just your icons, your basic icons where you can see shops. You got the train over here, everything like that. And then, of course, you can set waypoints. And yeah, just some basic stuff like this, really. There's, that's the map. We all know what a map does. And this is the main menu, by the way. Sort of here, you've got the time at the top right and the amount of money you have. So, then you've got your weapons. And this is interesting, actually. You don't get this in Red Dead Redemption 2. So, you actually get to see sort of the stats of your weapons without sort of, in Red Dead 2, you look at the weapon wheel, whereas you don't actually get the stats of the weapons by looking at the weapon wheel in Red Dead 1. What you can do is just go to the options, go to weapons, and then you can see the details of all of your weapons. To be honest, I think it's better in Red Dead 2 since it's easier. You're not having to pause the game every single time and check the stats of your weapons. You can just do it by looking at the weapon wheel. But this is nice as well. It's just a different way of doing things. So you got your knife here. It will show you the power, the range, the rate of fire, the reload speed, the ammo capacity, and the current amount of ammo that you have. So then, of course, we've got the Cattleman Revolver and the Carbine Repeater, two classic weapons there, which, of course, we all know at this point, to be honest. So then you do have your outfits. So you can, obviously, change into some outfits. I believe you unlock some with certain versions of the game. So if you have the game on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, or PS5, then I believe you get some exclusive... There's some exclusive packs they released back in the day, and I assume that's included with this version of the game, since it is technically a Game of the Year edition, just without the multiplayer. So, yeah, I believe that there will be some exclusive outfits, and of course ones that you have to discover, and then there's some certain tasks that you have to complete to be able to get them. But yeah, I'm just using the classic cowboy outfit, which we all know John Marston in, and yeah, you can get some basic outfits as well. And yeah, you can change your outfit at any house, or any camp, sorry, or any safe house within the game. And a safe house, I believe this right here is a safe house. If I go in here, should just be able to change my outfit. Yeah, there we go, change outfits, and I could just use this instead. And then there you go. As you can see, we are now in this. It's pretty clean, actually. Guess I'll stick with this for a bit. So yeah, that's just the way you can change your outfits. And obviously, you can't actually do it from the menus, but you can look at the outfits you have and then go to a camp or safe house to then change outfits. So yeah, just basic stuff there. And then you've got the journal, which just shows you the brief, so just shows you certain notes of certain alerts that have popped up recently. You've got the challenges of nearby challenges and everything like that. Then you've got strangers, which of course, just side stuff and everything like that. Just basically sort of a logbook, really. That's what the journal is. You probably won't find yourself using it much at all. Maybe if you're going for the platinum trophy or something like that, you probably use it a little bit. But generally speaking, it's just going to show you basic information, just quests, everything like that you'll find in your journal. So then we have the options. So first of all, we have the configuration menu. So we've got your targeting mode. You can have an expert, normal, or casual. I say keep it on normal. Of course, changes to how you feel you are at the game. I think casual is probably just not really needed, to be honest with you. And then, of course, you've got your invert cameras, your X and Y. So if you want to be able to have your invert look and everything like that, you can do so. And then you have your horse control, whether you want to be able to control sort of the camera or horse relative when you're on your horse. It's up to you. I would keep it as camera, since it's sort of what everyone's used to, especially with Red Dead Redemption 2. It makes sense, in my opinion, to keep it that way, but it's up to you Vibration, you can turn this on or off, or you can just change the sensitivity of it. Unfortunately, there is no haptic feedback or any sort of use of the DualSense controller on PlayStation 5, since it is a PlayStation 4 version of the game, which is a bit disappointing, but yeah, it's really up to you in terms of whether you like vibration. Personally, I like it a bit, since it's the closest thing you're going to get to haptic feedback, really, on PlayStation 5. You've got your auto sensor, and everything like this, to be honest, I don't think you'd really touch. It's up to you. If you want to be able to have sort of a more unique experience, then go for it, but generally speaking, this is just default stuff and how the game was intended to be played, and if you played any sort of Red Dead game before, then you probably just want to keep this as it is. Autosave, obviously, I would have on, unless you want it off for some reason. But everything like that, I think, is generally stuff you'd want to keep the same. And yeah, here you've got your controls. You can't actually change any of these, I believe, but you can obviously just have a look at how the controls work. But they're the exact same as Red Dead Redemption 2. So if you played Red Dead 2, then of course you know this, and I believe pretty much Red Dead 2's controls are the exact same as GTA 5 as well, or of course the new GTA Trilogy remaster. So if you played anything like that before, so if you're on Switch, for example, you played the GTA Trilogy, then you should find these controls are fairly normal, since they're pretty much identical. Instead of, you know, getting into a car, you're just getting on a horse instead. But everything's just classic modern Rockstar controls, really. But these are the same as they were in 2010 when the game released. So then you've got your audio. I would just keep this, you know, as it is. Headphones I should actually have on, since I'm using headphones, of course, so I'd recommend that if you're using them. But everything like that, of course, if you find it too loud, turn it down. If you find it too quiet, turn it up. Simple as that, really. So display is where you might want to change a few things. Brightness, I tend to turn up a little bit, but at the moment everything's just on default. In fact, I'll probably just turn that up to about there. And then, of course, your contrast, if you really want to change this, you can. I'd say for the best sort of, you know, the best looking game, I'd keep this as it is. I don't think it really, of course, if you prefer to have a higher contrast with the game, and some people do, I know some people do prefer that, then by all means change it. But for me, that sort of thing in the saturation is always, for me, something best kept at default, but you can change that if you want to. Now, the anti-aliasing is where some people, probably the main sort of setting you want to look at, and is, of course, exclusive to the newer versions. I believe it is on PlayStation 4, but I couldn't tell you about Nintendo Switch, but I believe it might be. But either way, I would keep it on FSR. So this is the FXAA. This is what it will look like. It does look a little bit different, but for me, if I just change this now back to the FSR 2, then I think that just looks that bit cleaner. I think that upscaling just does look a bit nicer. It just looks like less fuzzy, a bit more clarity with the overall image, and I would recommend using AMD FSR 2, and it is what it is set to at default, so you don't really need to change that. Then you've got your motion blur. Some people have it on, some people have it off. Personally, for me, I'm never that bothered, but I tend to prefer having it off. Then your kill effects and everything like that, and subtitles. Subtitles I tend to turn on for story games, but that one's also up to you. And kill effects, to be honest, for an immersive experience, I keep that on. Then, of course, you've got your subtitle scale, your objective scale, just if you find stuff's a bit small. And, of course, if you want to have your map and waypoints off for a more immersive experience, I guess you can do that. But everything here, of course, you know, these settings you can tweak depending on whether you think it's needed or not. So that's all up to you. So then, of course, you have cheats. You can turn on cheats if you like, but it will affect whether you get achievements for the game. And you can enter custom cheats as well. Yeah, it's really up to you if you want to use cheats, if you're finding it maybe a bit difficult, or you want to have a different experience, maybe you just, you know, something close to modding, I guess. You can do that with cheats, but it will affect whether you get the achievements for the game or not, so that's also up to you. So, yeah, of course, you can enter custom cheat codes and everything like that. So, yeah, cheats, once again, your choice. So, then, of course, that is basically all of the options. So, to be honest, the only thing you really want to look at is, of course, your audio and your display. You might want to turn your brightness up a bit. You might want to change this to FXAA. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want to. This is all your choice, of course, subtitles, everything like that. Just some standard settings, really, which is completely up to you. So now we'll quickly move on to stats. So, and this is literally just where you see your stats for the game. So first of all, you got your general stats, and this is sort of in Red Dead 2 as well. You can see your honor, everything like that, the missions you've done, the missions cancelled. Then, of course, you've got the missions that you're currently in, ones you completed with the medals. And then, of course, you've got strangers, crimes, the amount of crimes you committed, and the stats for that. The travels, how far you've gone, the amount of money you have, and the way you've earned it. And then you have your combat, so just the kills that you've got and everything like that. Collectibles, so if you're going for collectibles, of course, if you want that platinum trophy, then chances are you'll be looking at this. Then you've got your score, just for certain game modes, and then your miscellaneous, which is basically, yeah, just chests opened, your favorite weapons, everything like that. And then finally over here, you've got your game. So just where you see the saved, you load a new game, you start a new game, basic stuff like that. And that is the entire settings for Red Dead Redemption. So you really shouldn't need to tweak much. Straight out of the box, to be honest, the game should be pretty much ready to go. Subtitles and everything like that is the slight things you might want to change, but generally speaking, FSR2 is already selected, so realistically, I would say that's the only thing you really want to look at, especially with the new version. But in terms of the older versions of the game, then the subtitles, looking at the controls and everything like that might be worth doing. But that was just a guide to the settings, and now you know what might be worth changing and whether there is anything you should be worrying about in the settings of the game. But to be honest, it's all pretty clear, and straight away, to be honest, the settings are good to go and you should be absolutely fine to enjoy Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, any of the Xboxes and Nintendo Switch, but unfortunately not PC as of yet. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. That was just a quick guide really to Red Dead Redemption after its new release, going over the settings of the game. And yeah, hopefully that's just brought a bit of clarity to that, since of course when there is a new version of the game these days, with the current consoles there's always different options to change and everything like that. So hopefully that's kept things nice and clear so you know exactly what you should be changing and what you shouldn't be changing. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Now on screen you are seeing a link to a different video. Hit the link on the screen if you are interested in watching that.